then I guess let's get started. Maybe some attendees will join a bit later, but I'd like to welcome you to the second session of the What Can I Be with a PhD webinar session from the EYCN. I would like to welcome all the attendees from wherever they are joining today. Yeah, it's nice that you're here. Today, we will have a talk from Marta, and Marta, she will talk a bit about her career and how she got there. And that's the basic idea of our webinar session, that we kind of show all the possibilities one has with a PhD after finishing. And we'd like to open up all different facets of what you can do afterwards. Today, Claudia will be here as well. She will help me with the Q&A session after the recorded meeting. Claudia, she's right now the team lead of the networks team of the European Young Chemist Network. And I'm part of the networks team as well. So basically that's one of our projects. But yeah, actually there's no need to introduce Marta from my side. She will introduce herself anyways. And I hope we will have some fun. And yeah, afterwards, after the recorded session, we will have a Q&A. And feel free to ask any questions. All right, so Marta, the stage is yours.
Yeah, thank you. So now I will need help because I will try to share the presentation and you need to tell me if you see the presentation mode or not, because with two screens, it's always a mess, even though I do it like a couple of times per day, but still. So let's see if it works. Okay, so that's a presentation, and then I'm going to the, what do you see?
We see the presentation mode.
So the right one.
We see we can see the notes, let's say. Okay, now we see the right one. Yes.
Okay, that you see that it's always difficult. So thank you so much for having me here. I'm super nervous and you can spot that because I will be laughing all the time, and usually when I laugh I'm nervous because yeah, well, it's I really am honored, if I have to say, to be invited from the EYCN. I love what the network it's doing and what you guys are doing generally. So it's really such an honor for me to be here. And the presentation you will see, it's in a template of our very much cooperative presentation. So that can get me directly to who I am. So I am Marta Da Pian. You know me probably because, no, I don't think people know me, but if there is some Italian people, they might know me because I'm the coordinator of the Italian Chemical Society, the Young Group. So that might explain something. And I also work for Elsevier. So that's the cooperative oriented style of presentation that you're going to see today, because of course I'm wearing that hat and I need to be compliant to those rules. And well, so let's skip directly to the juicy part. I decided to start with a timeline of how did I end up working in Elsevier, and what was for me, what is for me, what will be for me. So we start with the empty line, right? Because whenever we start studying at university, we never know. We maybe have some ideas, but we never know. I was sure I wanted to be a chemist since I was a kid because I really like to make stuff exploding. And I thought, yeah, well, that's chemistry, right? So that's probably what I need to study. So I was very focused since the very beginning. And that's why I started with my bachelor in chemistry. At that time, I didn't really know what I liked because bachelor is very short. And when you need to decide a thesis, basically you just follow your heart. So I followed the professor I had a crush on, and I asked him a thesis, which was on electrochemistry. One of the best time in my life, honestly, a lot of serendipity. I really liked it. I had so much fun. I was so in the practical courses, and that proved me, okay, chemistry was actually the good choice and the right one for me. So I moved to the master, and during my master, I said, okay, well, the world is super big, so why should I keep on staying just in Padua if I can see the world through the Erasmus program? So I went to the UCD College in Dublin to do some exams only there. Again, so much fun, so nice. I learned so much. I got a very open view and different view on how the scholar system can differ, right, from the small Italian one that I knew back then. So I said, okay, why stopping just doing exam? I will do a second Erasmus time for my master thesis. And there I went to the University of Twente in the Netherlands, working solely on my thesis. And that was a very, again, nice experience, but very formative, I would say, because I really learned what you can do when you have the money to do it. And in the laboratory I was coming from, that was not such a case. So the possibilities that open whenever you have findings are incredible. So then the next part was, okay, and what I do next? I didn't know, so I stalled. And by stalling, trying to understand if I wanted to do a PhD in Italy, abroad, on which topic, I started a research fellow back at the University of Padua, on forensic chemistry, which was my inner passion. So during the years, I think everyone saw CSI. We had also the Italian version of the CSI series that got me in love completely, and I knew I wanted to do that. So when the possibility opened for forensic chemistry, I just took it, right? But then in the meanwhile, I realized, well, I actually want to do a PhD. That's important for me. And I looked for my possibilities. And the one that came in after several failures, actually, because I tried, I think, 5 different exams in 5 different Italian universities before getting accepted in University of Venice. So again, first prove that even though you want something, you need to fight for it. So that's not that easy. I started my PhD at University of Venice in supramolecular chemistry. Completely different topics. I loved it. But, well, Italy was a little bit small back again. So I said, okay, why not moving for a period abroad? Because I have done solely 2, right? So why not doing a third one? And then I visited the Freie University of Berlin, doing specifically mass spectroscopy there, did a synthesis and proving some theoretical concepts behind my experimental work. That was amazing. So I think the best period of my life. I cherish that time, like honestly, the best time of my life. So this is the first advice I'd like to give to everyone. Guys, go everywhere, because you will learn so much every time. And while I was in Berlin and I met wonderful people, I had the best companion ever of my laboratory, the best professor ever. So everything was just, the best. It happened that I won an award that was done in collaboration with the Italian Chemical Society and Elsevier, the company I work for now. This is important, and it was a very important stepstone in my career because it's one of the reasons why I work in Elsevier now. So second advice is take every chances you get, because you never know the connection where are going to take you. Then I finished the PhD. My idea were super clear. Well, I wanted to do a postdoc. I wanted to stay in academia. I wanted to teach. I really had a lot of aspiration on my projects. So I wanted to change. Again, I sent out, I counted that a couple of years ago, I think around 200 letters to look for a postdoc position abroad. I could not get any. Because back in the time when I told to my PhD supervisor that I wanted to keep on working in academia, they told me, no, Marta, this is not the way for you. You talk too much. You network too much. You are too funny. That's not how the chemist should be. So we are not going to help you. If you want to do your postdoc, you do it on the hard way. So you find a place for your own. And, without a proper presentation and interaction, it's very difficult. So I found a place, finally, back at the University of Padua, completely different group because I went to pharmaceutical chemistry that time. And also there I learned a lot First of all, I was super thankful to be a chemist because you see so many fun chemistry stuff in not pure chemistry laboratory that just, you know, it's a boost for your your self-esteem. But well, also that was a super good time, and I wanted to share with you a couple of other events that signed my career back in the time, which was joining the Italian Chemical Society, Gruppo Giovani. I was elected like representative for the organic chemistry, and I joined the board. And joining EYCN. So I was also back then joining the social media team, and later on becoming the Italian delegate. That was super good because helped me keeping the connection with my community, my small community, the Italian one, and the broader community, the international one. And now I have a few pictures because I think that's the best thing to share, not just the live, but few pictures. Maybe you can recognize Claudia in the very center one, because we are friends since the master. Actually, we were studying together at the master in Padua. So some very old one, also some funny moment where we ran a marathon during the PhD to support the funding to the university, my postdoc laboratory, and then the research fellow one, where I also did another small postdoc. So super lovely memories. And also my lovely memories from my travel, from my period abroad. So again, in Dublin, I was almost dying, as you can see, so completely wet and frozen. In Twente, we were playing a lot of soccer. In Berlin, a lot of fun. So Marius was my lab mate for a while, and a wonderful person. So you can see we were playing jokes around columns. And that was super, super good fun. But going back to the lifeline, right? So something changed, right? Because I'm not in academia anymore. So what happened? A lot happened. Lot happened that took me to join actually the year after Elsevier as customer consultant. And well, a lot to digest, because I told you so far that my dream was to stay in academia. And yeah, Marta, that was your dream. Why you are not following your dream anymore? Because life came in between. And then you need to listen to the destiny at a certain point and to accept the fate, and to accept that you can actually change what you dream, and that maybe what you dream, it's not what you want, and it's not what it's right for you. So there was this occasion to joining Elsevier, because people that I met when I won the award knew me, remembered me, liked me, and when there was an open position, called me. I did 8 interviews in less than 15 days, quite hard process. And then finally I was hired, and I was hired as customer consultant for the Nordics and the Benelux area. So a lot of cold, and I'm a warm person, very distant, so always flying. But that didn't stop there, because, well, I sort of behaved well. I would just say I proved myself in the new role, because I said, okay, let's put in action what I learned. So I won 2 awards in the next couple of years. And then finally I got promoted to the senior position last year. And again, last year, beginning of this year, I even changed position. So a further promotion, become solutions desk manager. But now let's explain a little bit more what is that, because that's also the topic of our webinar, right? So not just how you write, but what can you do? So we don't know for the future. It's the first thing. Second thing is, I need to tell you that chemists can be found literally everywhere. We are literally everywhere. And in Elsevier, that it's a super big company, you can find us in the journal side, which is the most normal one, like everyone think about the editorial process and the publishing process. So you can be editors, you can be publisher, journal manager, and blah, blah, blah. but also in product development, because while we study, we develop a lot of project management skills. And that actually helped a lot. So you can find us in data solutions, more related to chemistry, like could be Reaxis, but also some others that are much more related to artificial intelligence, to pharmaceutical, to biology, to drug delivery, and so on and so forth, because we are versatile. We learn how to be versatile. So you can find us there. You can find us in sales and in marketing. I am the proof. So I have honestly a sales position. Why that? Because you know how to sell yourself. You know how to sell your project, because you need to apply for a grant, you apply for a work, and you pitch your research at every congress you go. So you do know how to sell. And why not applying this skill? And finally, strategic networks, because again, you plan very carefully, not just your project, but the people you're working to, and you nurture your collaboration internally at the university and externally. So you're a perfect strategic person. So why not take a career in strategy? But what do I do most of my day? Well, I travel. People that knows me know that I most of the time have the automatic reply on because I'm traveling somewhere. And here I'm just showing you a screenshot of a typical week that I'm handling, which is flying from Norway, Campen, for example, as you can see, middle of nowhere, literally, you take a point, there is nothing, just no. To the week after, Crete. Why not? Just 30, 40 degree of excursion between one and the other. And that's the normal way of handling my weeks, handling my days. But does it finish? Well, every chemist thinks they will end up in industry, right? That's the most usual thing you do. So that's how you picture yourself in your daily job. My daily job is a little bit different. So I do a lot of traveling, right? We keep on saying that. I start a lot of new collaboration. That's essential to do my job, but also because of me, like I'm a very talkative person, maybe too much. So for me, collaboration, it's really life. And the same is networking. Networking really helps my day. Then I do a lot of trainings. I say a lot of presentation, basically. And a lot of data management, because we handle so many different kind of data, which are not the catalysis data, for example, so not the pure chemistry one, but a lot of other kind of data, every day, every moment. I do sales. Well, that's also part of my job, but it depends the way you do it. So it's not that bad as it might sound. And I do a lot of reporting, because without reporting, there is no way you can be good in your job. So reporting is that essential as all the rest. Where did it let me? Well, I had a huge mental breakdown. For so many reasons, I was not ready to that amount of travel, to that amount of work. I saw all my dreams changing, right? Because that was not the career I was picturing since I was a child. Come on, I wanted to make stuff exploding. Here, I cannot make the computer explode. So there was a fundamental change there. And it was not easy. I had the first one like 6 months after I started working in Elsevier. Second one, let's say I'm out of it right now, but it happened quite lately because of all the changes in my role, in my organization, in my dreams, in what I want for my life. So what you do in these cases, you look for help. That's essential. I looked for help back then internally in my company, because we do support not people breaking down, or we try to help them not to break down, but there is a lot of support in place. And I look for help externally. Like I went to see a therapist. I'm right now also in therapy. And to me, it's really vital to really put the right direction. And here I choose this picture because it really reminds me what are my limiting beliefs. So the stone that I take with me every day, I'm not enough. I'm not good for it. I'm not paid for this. What if I don't make it? What other people will think of it? So those are my constant limiting rock that I bring with me. But I learned how to rephrase them, to, from the rock, take the gem. Like, I'm not enough now, but if I study a little bit more, I will be. It's not the right place for me now, but maybe it will be. Or if it's not, well, I can change. No one is stopping me to change. No one is stopping me to change myself or to change job even. So why not? And that's the kind of help that I really like to share with you, because that helped me a lot to think, step back, and rephrase everything that was stopping me. And I also set up my priorities. As you can see, my cat, it's my biggest priority in life. She's called Thea, Tritila mine, because she's the catalyst of my life, or my basic cat. I'm a nerdy person, so that's coming with me. And I also learned that I need to act, think, behave, work, considering that I'm a whole person. So there is not just the head working. I need to, thinking it's right, it's good, it helps you plan. But you cannot just think, you need to feel. You need to feel with the gut. You need to follow your instinct. Your instincts are not always wrong, but you need to put them in a framework, and you need to feel. You need to be empathetic as much as you can, because feeling the others will help you feel yourself as well. And setting up better my priorities also got me, okay, apart from probably liking my job now, back in the time, now I do love my job, but back in the time, the thought was probably liking my job. What can I get the most out of it? Like what I really like to do, what I'm really good that I can give my contribution. And one was about Reaxis, which is our chemistry solution. So focusing on chemistry, how can I help people? Well, I realized I love teaching. I love making presentations. So I created a setup of videos that really help you tailor this solution in your chemistry everyday life. And now I'm even working on, okay, if you are not a chemist, how can you teach so? So talking to non-chemistry people how to teach chemistry. So that's where I'm good at. And I focus on this. But also I focus on collaboration. I love collaborating. I love learning. I cannot stop learning. So I kept on working on a project on forensic chemistry in my spare time, very little, but I could find one, working on condoms. Why condoms? Well, because they're used a lot right now, and that's super sad, in sexual assault, in sexual abuse. And it's creating a problem, but we chemists can help. So why not? Then I start working on a project on biology, which got me a lot of new learnings, because, well, Claudia knows that everything that starts with bio for me is just a big no, because I cannot control it. So it scares me. But because of that, I started working with this lady. At that time, she was from Catholic University of Louvain, and we published together a paper. And we didn't stop. So I also published another one together with another, the Joint Research Center of ISPRA, so European Commission, which was a systematic review, which again, for us chemists, you can tell, okay, Marta, how the hell you know the stuff? You study, you can learn, you can adapt, because your chemistry can do so. And finally, I'm collaborating. I'm trying to set up as many collaborations as I can with different societies, because I see the power of our communities. Those are just a couple of examples. And I created a program that is responsible for it. It's called Oxygen. There is a lot, it's an acronym for big names, but the meaning behind it's also because the oxygen is one of the only elements in the periodic table that can actually connect with everyone. And I want that for my company, I want that for me, I want that for us, because we are a community. And with that, I thank all my team, all the people I met It's just a couple of them. So I should have a bunch with a lot of more picture, but just a couple of events. And one of the picture I really like a lot is the one at the bottom left, because we were all together, ACS, Elsevier Royal Society of Chemistry, who you could think of us as competitor. We are, but we're also friends. So that's the power of the chemistry community. And thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much, Marta, for this wonderful and honest presentation. You already showed a lot of different possibilities a chemist has after the PhD. And yeah, there were already many advices in your presentation, but is there any other advice you would give to the current generation of PhDs about their career development?
Yes. So the probably most honest one is don't fear to fail, because failure is part of everything. I didn't mention the most of my failures. I had many more. But you learn every time. You just don't need to give up. So I think that's the more honest advice that I can give. Don't give up when you fail. And if you give up, look for help, talk to other people, because probably you're not alone. And that can help.
Very inspiring. Thank you so much, Marta. And with that, I guess we can jump to the Q&A session. Thank you for all the attendees staying here. And yeah, if you have any questions you want to ask, feel free.